as the glorious morning rays of sunlight shine down upon the leaves of this beautiful ecological scene. They glisten magnificent, in magnificence, which is a word, and glory. This beautiful scene of the miracle of nature plays out as these fish, flora and fauna, live together harmoniously in this magnificent fish tank, which I, Oscar Theodore Roosevelt Dundon, created with mine own hands. Welcome back to my channel. Here we shall explore this marvelous scene before you. Hello, welcome. It's been ages since I've made a video, but here I am. This is my 4-foot long, 55-gallon planted community tank. It's been set up for like 2 weeks. There's only like 3 appliances in it that are pretty small, not very like expensive ones. This little filter, which would not be able to do this without the plants. Airstone, heater, right? Those are the only 3 things in here. And then the rest of the like maintenance stuff is done by the fish and done by the plants, right? There's like 20 fish in here, 20. I'll give you a rundown of them all in a minute. And then I've got like a whole bunch of plants, like a bunch of different species. You can see I got these ones out on top, and I got these ones down bottom. First I'll give you a rundown of the fish. Alright, here we go. This is my golden gourami. That's my powder blue flame gourami. Both awesome. My tiger barbs, I got 4 of those. These are the platies and the mollies, all the little normal fish-shaped fish you're looking at. These are my Corydoras catfish. So that's the panda Corydoras right there in the bottom right. That's my Sturbai Corydoras. This is a bronze Corydoras with the blue on the side. And I've got 2 other ones in there, peppered Corydoras they're called. This is Bruce, my Siamese algae eater. He's only a little baby. He'll get much larger than that. He's an algae eater. Also an algae eater, this is Mark, my red-tail shark catfish. He's awesome. Green moss barbs, these are cool. And that's Arthur, he's my swordtail. And this is Danny, my giant Danio fish. Alrighty, so now that we've gone over some of the fish in here, I'm going to talk a little bit more about like how this tank actually works, right? Because there's a lot of things that you need to make sure are actually correct, like water chemicals and parameters and stuff like this, in order to be able to keep plants and fish, right? So a couple things you'll notice, right, is you need basically fish food goes in, fish poop comes out, right? And then the plants are supposed to absorb the nutrients from the fish poop, right? That's what you need, because you either need filtration, really expensive, big, heavy filtration that you need to maintain, or you need plants to suck up those nutrients, right? But the plants have a harder time sucking up the nutrients directly from just like fish poop, right? So what you need is beneficial bacteria, right? This all along the bottom here is actually filter media, right? Which was running on a big filter I had like a while ago. Anyway, it has a lot of surface area and it's specifically made for beneficial bacteria that eat fish poop to live all over that, right? Because what the beneficial bacteria do is they convert that fish poop into like basically a food source that is a lot easier for the plants to absorb, right? What else do plants need, right? They need CO2, which is the actual reason I have a filter on there. So normally the filter is for the biological filtration of the fish food, but because the plants and the extra media I have in the bottom here, I don't need that filter for that. But I do need the filter for flow, right? Water flow and oxygenation, right? Which is why I also have this airstone, right? Which puts a lot of oxygen in the water. You need fast flow, which is like just good for the aquarium, good for the fish, gets all the gases around, gets all the nutrients around, you know, creates, because different fish like to swim at different speeds. So Danny here, my giant Danio, he's like a river minnow, right? So they come from fast flowing streams. So they like fast flow. So this area along the bottom, a lot faster flow than say like the middle here. And the top has flow going the opposite way. So there is a loop, right? What else do plants need, right? CO2, right? Because plants breathe carbon dioxide. They don't breathe oxygen the way we do, right? We breathe out CO2, they breathe it in. So you need CO2 in the water, right? So a lot of people will get like really expensive liquid CO2 canisters, and it's like another filter thing you have to add on there, and it's like you have to replace it, and it's like, Jesus Christ, why would you do that, right? What you actually should do is get fish fast flow air stone, right? Because what do fish breathe out? CO2, right? So the plants and the fish create an oxygen CO2 cycle together, right? Within the thing. You also need flow for the surface tension, right? Because gas is exchanged at the surface of the water as well, and the more surface area there is on top of the water, the more gas can be exchanged more easily, right? Oh my god, monsters. What the fuck was I just talking about? Oh yeah, so what's another thing plants need? Sunlight, right? They need sunlight. For photosynthesis, they use the energy from sunlight to actually make sugar, right? All their energy, right? So most people get expensive lights that you would put above the aquarium, and you would have them on for like 12 hours a day, and they'd be on full strength, and you turn them off and they'd just go off at night. And those work really well, but they're actually not so good for the fish as natural sunlight, right? From the sun, the giant ball of fire that, you know, is responsible for all life on Earth. So most people don't recommend using actual sunlight because it's actually way too good for the plants, way too powerful. You get algae growth, right? Green algae all over the walls and everything, which sucks, which is why I need lots of plants and lots of cleaner things, right? Like the red-tailed catfish here, or Bruce, my Siamese algae eater, who's hiding away somewhere, or my other Corydoras, which are also similarly out of sight. They like to do that. I gave them the caves. That's why they have them. Yeah, so that's why I have all these plants in here. Let's do a rundown of what the actual plant species are, right? So I don't know all of them, but I do know most of them. That little bushy planty leaf right there is called Rotalia, right? This is Elodia, right? This long, mossy looking thing is actually Elodia, and it's illegal in a lot of parts of the world because it grows so quickly that it's an invasive. So I won't be releasing it into any ponds, I suppose. But yeah, I've noticed it grows very quickly. Rotalia, Elodia, this is Blue Pictus, this tree sort of thing right here. These ones growing up here, these little offshoots have grown up. Some more Rotalia. I've forgotten the name of these stemmy ones, but I like them. They've been doing good. And then let's go to the top plants, which are actually extremely important for this tank, right? There's a massive advantage to using top plants as opposed to in-water plants, because what did I talk about before? CO2, right? Much more CO2 in the air than there is in the water. So it's much easier for surface plants to actually perform photosynthesis and do all the things that they need and perform their metabolism, right? So what have I got on here? I've got pothos, which is thanks to my mum. I love all the pothos on here. Got some more over here. This is mint, which has actually been doing really well, which I was surprised I only added that recently. All of this here is all Spanish ivy from my grandma. So thanks, Nana. It's doing really well. And this is one of my favorites on here. This is called Lizard's Tail, right? So I bought this as it was a lot smaller, not many leaves on it or anything. You can see its roots. It actually grew roots out, and it's grown since I put it in this tank. It is growing a new offshoot, which is like, that's growing super fast. Like a couple days ago, that wasn't even there, right? Which is awesome. And I love all the roots coming down, right? The fish seem to love it as well. They love the forest here, right? Of all this stuff, because it'll actually be good for the little baby fry and stuff that are going to happen, because these fish are actually going to breed a couple of these fish, and the other fish are going to eat them. Which is nature. That's how it works, you know what I mean? Protein, you know, meat group. But it is unfortunate, and I prefer that they live, so I'm trying to add a lot of plants in there like that. Rotalia, that'll grow into like bushes and stuff where they can hide and not get eaten by Queen Midas or Azula or any of the other amazing fish in here. Which, by the way, aren't they just lovely? Ain't it nice? Exquisite. Simply exquisite. Hey! Hello. Okay, it's been a few weeks since I filmed the first part of most of this video, so I'm going to do a little update on how everybody's doing. The tank is doing sick, everyone's doing great, look amazing, and the plants, that little offshoot I was talking about, look at this glorious thing. Look at the beauty. Simply just magnificence. This is water lettuce. I've added that there and a few other places. This is, I don't know what this is, but it's growing really well in my other tank. I took it from the swamp. The Spanish ivy's growing even more. The pothos is all rooted out. You can see all these new roots that have happened. That's pretty cool. There's another offshoot growing with leaves under the water, which is weird. Didn't think that would work, but it does. All these roots have gotten all thick in here. I've added little shoots of Alodia everywhere. You can see I just keep snipping them. They just keep growing. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. This is Anubis. This is awesome. This is tied to a turtle, because who doesn't like turtles? And so that Anubis is doing really good, and a tiny little bit of moss from the store is living on it, which is fun. I've added a bunch of new rocks and shells and things, just, you know. That is Monte Carlo. It's excellent. I love it. There's a bit of it there, and there's some more in the back of the tank. I've added a bunch of just, you know, rocks and shells and pretty things. Lots of new Alodia there, new Alodia there, new Alodia there, new Alodia there. Yeah, Rotalia's like gotten a bit bigger and everything. It's doing awesome. Alright guys, that's probably the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and as a sneak peek to the next video, I only got these guys just yesterday. I just bought 2 blue tongue lizards for this here tank. They're kind of hiding at the moment. You can see him just, if there was less reflection, he's sitting right there. Sneak peek, sneak peek, sneak peek. In like 6 months, I'll probably be able to make that video. My room's a fucking mess. Alright, goodbye.